Sanji can get Conqueror's Haki, but there's a hitch. Sanji is one of the strongest members of the Straw Hat crew, and for many, he's one of their favorites, but it's hard to deny that he is trailing behind where he really needs to be, being Luffy's equal. To be fair, the wings of the Pirate King were never always specifically stated to be equal, but with some recent reveals, that is a requirement, and Sanji has some work to put in. Which, don't get me wrong, I do think he can achieve, but there's some conditions that need to be met first, and if I think they're failed at, they might ruin his character arc for this section. So let's get the basics out of the way first. I'm not going to meme on this, and I'm not going to particularly be picking a side here, but let's just put it this way. Sanji is lacking in his areas of Conqueror's Haki, and in particular other Hakis compared to other members of the Straw Hat crew. He does not display very much with Advanced Armament Haki, and to be honest, his only feat with Armament Haki is a bit negligible because it's during Ifrit Janbei, and it's not specifically confirmed that that was used there. But it's so cool, I feel like it should be. Secondly is that he's supposed to be the Observation Haki member, and this is a big one. He's never actually used Advanced Observation Haki. Or at least if he has, Oda has never deemed it important enough to actually depict on screen, which obviously says enough for itself, doesn't it? But even without those, he does have really well-developed Observation Haki because he was able to detect Luffy's revival on the roof of Onigashima, as well as contend with high-level characters that would very easily be the equivalent or even above, Admiral and Yonko level. So it's not like we're pretending Sanji doesn't have skill here, he's just kind of trailing behind, but the area he really trails behind in is Conqueror's Haki. Sanji has no depicted feats with Conqueror's Haki at all. Not even on a base level, not even by accident like Luffy had pre-time skip. And there is a reason for this because honestly, Conqueror's Haki requires two very distinctive and important elements. One is that it requires a very assertive sense of self. You have to have an opinion of yourself, and that opinion really can't be negative. I'm not necessarily saying this opinion has to be like you're a god or you're the best person in the world, but it's more accurate to say this opinion has to be that you can achieve what you want to in the world. That you can be the person that you visualize within the world that you want to create. And this vision has to be able to persist even through terrible events, as that has happened to everybody that has Conqueror's Haki. The second, and we kind of alluded to it previously, is that Conqueror's Haki is the base instinct of wanting to change the world in some way. That could be a personal change, such as becoming the world's greatest swordsman, or it could be a change like becoming the king of the pirates. And it could even be, changes like being able to assert dominance over a group or something like that. I think there's a wide variety of reasons or dreams that can institute Conqueror's Haki. Even perhaps a more noble one, like saying wanting to defend your family, such as the case of Katakuri, or wanting to defend the people of Fishman Island. So the limitations of Conqueror's Haki are more an ability to A, picture yourself as the person you want to be, and then being able to encourage a type of change into the world that you want. Sanji lacks both of these. He has a horribly developed sense of self due to the fact that his father was highly abusive along with his brothers, and is only something he's just recently started to come to terms with and start to improve from, mostly thanks to the Straw Hats. And he has no dream nor desire to change the world. He does not wish to be the king of the pirates. He does not wish to liberate anyone. He does not wish to be the greatest swordsman. There is nothing that he desires like that. He wants to find something, but that's not an act of creation or change. That's just finding something. And you can make a credible case that he already did, because a lot of people speculate the All Blue is basically the same thing as Fishman Island, so that could also take some wind out of that. But we have seen characters whose dreams or ideals change over the course of the series, and Sanji could very well be one of those. But here's the rub. This cannot be a joke that he awakens Conqueror's Haki purely to keep up with Zoro, and it cannot be, the repeated joke that he awakens Conqueror's Haki to defend Nami. I'm sorry, it just can't be. It would be one thing if this was built as like a romantic manga or something, where that would be like a profound moment, but let's be honest, I feel like the mass majority of the audience realizes Nami is not his significant other for a couple of various reasons, but the profundity is that she's just never expressed that interest in him. I think she looks at him like a brother, and don't get me wrong, there is a turnaround for this that I'm going to talk about in a second, but it's not romantic. Instead, while I do think it's possible that Sanji will awaken his Conqueror's Haki because of love, it will not be because he is, looking for a woman, and it will not be because he's trying to keep up with Zoro. Instead, I earnestly see it as his profound devotion and love for his actual family, the Straw Hats. If this is nailed correctly, and I think Oda has a very decent chance to do so, if this is done correctly, then Sanji will explode in popularity even more than he already is. He won't just be the simping character master anymore, and he won't be, obviously Zoro's rival, and we have all the debates about Zoro and Sanji. That won't be the thing anymore. They will be equals, and they will be well on their way to equaling Luffy. And honestly, I think it fits Sanji's personality really well that if his dream is to ensure the safety of his family, if Zoro and Luffy constantly push the group into better positions or whatever, into trying to achieve more, then he is the mom of the group. Both Zoro and Sanji defend the group, but in different ways, and I feel like this would be a great way to showcase where that Conqueror's Haki comes from. Even just take the first time that Zoro arguably really unlocked it, which, to be frankly honest, was back in Eni's lobby. It's really hinted at that his Conqueror's Haki is the manifestation of his Asura form, and the first time he ever unlocks that is trying to save Robin. Second time it's used in canon is actually trying to save Luffy from Kaido, so that goes volumes for it. And I feel like it would be the same way for Sanji, and imagine what his could look like. If you think Sanji's will actually get a specific form for his Conqueror's Haki, kind of like the Asura form, whether it is like an Ifrit Janbei upgrade or something else, let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like the video, because it helps more One Piece fans see it so we can have these conversations, and we're going to be talking about plenty more One Piece in the future.